All right, we are recording. Thank you for being here, and thank you to everyone who will hopefully join the call as we proceed this evening. Welcome to the first of the May sessions for moving forward with midwifery in 2024. North American midwifery after the demise of MANA and picking up the pieces and finding a new and healthy way forward that's full of transparency and grace.
Amen.
Yeah. If you were part of the April sessions, then you observed some of the conversation that went on there. The midwives processing what they had experienced, both those who were in the midst of the circumstances with MANA and those who were on the fringes and those who really knew nothing of what had transpired. Like me, I'm not a midwife yet. I'm a student. I'm an observer. I'm following along, learning as I go, trying to learn from my elders and learn from my peers. And I knew very little about MANA except that it existed until it fell apart. And then I was left with a lot of questions, and the rest of us were too.
Yep.
So April was a month of listening to each other in the midst of trauma and processing, dredging up memories. I think there was much more that wasn't shared on the calls for individual midwives, especially those who've been practicing for, I don't even know how many years MANA existed. Wasn't it like 40 something years?
Yeah, I think it was 1968. It's been a while. It's
Okay.
been around for a while. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and we have midwives in the community who've been practicing since even before MANA came into existence.
Right.
And so there are memories and there are relationships, and there's just a lot that's coiled up inside that started to uncoil, I think, for a lot of midwives. So they may have gone and sat with their sisters and processed, or sat alone. But there was a lot that came up.
It was.
What I didn't see in the meetings was very many of my age peers stepping up, asking the questions that the elders were asking. I don't know if that's because they didn't know what was happening, didn't know what was important, didn't know what questions to ask. What do y'all think?
I think didn't know what was happening. At least that's everyone I've talked to.
Yeah.
They had no idea. Yeah, Susan. Yeah.
Not only that, but they didn't feel like they had a stake in it once it was all blew up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they want to step up and say anything because they don't feel like they are not invested. I'm trying to find the right word.
Connected.
Didn't
maybe.
feel like they didn't have enough credential behind their experience to speak on it.
Right.
That makes sense.
I mean, you know, they a lot of them just want to sit back and watch. And I'm usually an observer. I don't do a lot of talking on these things. Unless somebody really makes me mad.
Well, let's see what we can do to poke Susan today and get her to talk. We'll find your hot button issue and we'll.
Oh, believe me, I have them. I just, not always the right place.
Yeah, there's a place and a time for everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so moving forward from April, it's not moving on like, oh, that's behind us now, let us not speak of it. We're building the next step in the process.
Yep.
And the process itself is still kind of unfolding as to what it is, what is the agenda, what is the plan or the desire of
what their goals. I mean, do they have goals? Did you guys go through that kind of thing, or because
Not yet?
Okay. Can I watch? Is there a way I can watch the old ones so I can catch up?
Yes.
Okay.
There's a playlist. It's posted in the What Happened to Manna Facebook
Okay.
group.
Great.
It is
I thought
also,
about it.
it's also on the Ancient Art Midwifery Institute YouTube channel.
Okay.
So for anyone who doesn't do Facebook, go to YouTube and type in Ancient Art Midwifery. You might also be able to search with Lori Barklage's name, I'm not sure, but do AAMI, and that playlist will come up under the videos posted at her channel. But yes, and so in the last meeting in April, we did draw it down towards some practical next steps, and a few people volunteered saying, well, I can keep up with this part and I can maintain this. Let me just hop over. Oops, can't minimize Zoom. I'll just hop over to the group real quick and find that post to recap.